Shalom, family. Shalom. Happy, invigorating Thursday. Yes, man, temperatures creeped up and around 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, it was super hot, and right now it's just hovering at 99 degrees, so it's still hot outside. For those who lack the wherewithal, I don't know what to tell you. Drink lots of fluids and get on with your day. Today, getting back into reading. Today is Luke chapter 10, verse 1 through 42, and the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, 1 through 25. So let's jump into Luke chapter 10. Let's get this right on the go. Let's get on with it. Oh, and by the way, yes, nice hot steaming cup of turmeric ginger tea. You should get yourself some. It's that time of year. Luke chapter 10. After these things, the Yahweh appointed other 70 also, and sent them two and two before his face into every city and place, whither he himself would come. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest is truly great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Yahweh of the harvest, that he would send forth laborers into his harvest. Go your ways. Behold, I send you forth as lambs among wolves. Carry neither purse, nor scrip, nor shoes, and salute no man by the way. And into whatsoever house ye enter, first say, peace or shalom be to this house. And if the Son of Peace be there, your peace shall rest upon it. If not, it shall turn to you again. And in the same house remain, eating and drinking such things as they give. For the laborer is worthy of his hire. Go not from house to house, and into whatsoever city ye enter, and they receive you. Eat such things as are set before you. Heal the sick that are therein, and say unto them, the kingdom of Elohim is come nigh unto you. But into whatever city ye enter, and they receive you not, go your ways into the streets in the same, and say, even the very dust of your city which cleave on us, we do wipe off against you. Notwithstanding, but ye sure of this, that the kingdom of Elohim is come nigh unto you. But I say unto you, that it shall be more tolerable in that day for Sodom than for that city. Woe unto you, thee Chorazin! Woe unto thee, Bethsaida! If the mighty works had been done in Tyre and Sidon, which have been done in you, they had a great while ago repented, sitting in sackcloth and ashes. But it shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon at the judgment than for you. And thou, Capernaum, which art exalted in heaven, shall be thrust down to hell. He that heareth you heareth me, and he that despiseth you despiseth me, and he that despises me despises him that sent me. And the 70 returned again with the joy, saying, Yahweh, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Notwithstanding, in this rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. In that hour Yahushua rejoiced in spirit and said, I thank thee, O Father, Yahweh of heaven and earth, that thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. Even so, Father, for so it seemed good in thy sight. All things are delivered to me of my Father, and no man knoweth who the Son is but the Father, and who the Father is but the Son, and he to whom the Son will reveal him. And he turned him unto his disciples and said privately, Blessed are the eyes which see the things that ye see. For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see those things that which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? And he said unto him, What is written in the law? How readest thou? And he answered and said, Thou shalt love the Yahweh thy Elohim with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live. But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Yahushua, And who is my neighbor? And Yahushua answered and said, A certain man went down from Jerusalem, or Jerusalem, to Jericho, and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment, and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. By chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him, and passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him, and went to him, and bound up his wounds, poured in oil and wine, and set him on his way on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence, and gave them to the host, and said unto him, Take care of him, and whatsoever thou spend more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3 thinketh thou was neighbor unto him that fell among thieves? And he said, He that showed mercy on him. Then said Yahushua unto him, Go and do thou likewise. Now it came to pass, as they went, that he entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary, which also sat at Yahushua's feet, and heard his words. But Martha was cumbered about much serving, and came to him and said, Yahweh, doth thou not care that my sister hath left me to serve alone? Bid her, therefore, that she help me. And Yahushua answered and said unto her, Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things. But one thing is needful, and Mary hath chosen that good part, which shall not be taken from her. And so that's what we have. We're going to stop there. That is where we had left off. This is Luke chapter 10. Why did I say 10? 1 through 42. Was that 42? Yes, it was. 10, 1 through 42. Now we're going to jump into the book of the Wisdom of Solomon. The book of the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, and that's 1 through 25, and it reads, Nevertheless, thy saints had a very great light, whose voice they hearing and not seeing their shape, because they also had not suffered the same thing, they counted them happy. But for that they did not hurt them now, of whom they had been wronged before they thanked them, and besought them pardon, for that they had been enemies. Instead whereof thou gravest them a burning pillar of fire, both to be a guide of the unknown journey, and a harmless sun to entertain them honorably. For they were worthy to be deprived of light, and imprisoned in darkness. Who had kept thy sun shut up, by whom the uncorrupt light of the law was to be given unto the world? And when they had determined to slay the babes of the saints, one child being cast forth and saved to reprove them, thou tookest away the multitude of their children, and destroyed them altogether in a mighty water. Of that night were our fathers certified afore, that assuredly knowing unto what oaths they had given credence, they might afterwards be of good cheer. So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous and the destruction of the enemies. For wherewith thou didst punish our adversaries, by the same thou didst glorify us, whom thou hast called. For the righteous children of good men did sacrifice secretly, and with one consent made a holy law, that the saints should be alike partakers of the same good and evil. The fathers now singing out the song of praise. But on the other side there sounded an ill-according cry of the enemies, and a lamentable noise was carried abroad for children that were bewailed. The master and the servant were punished after one manner, and like as the king, so suffered the common person. So they all together had innumerable dead, with one kind of death. Neither were the living sufficient to bury them. For in one moment the noblest offspring of them was destroyed. For whereas they were not believed anything by reason of enchantments upon the destruction of the firstborn, they acknowledged this people to be sons of Elohim. For while all things were in quiet silence, and that night was in the midst of her swift course, thine Yahweh El Shaddai word leaped down from heaven out of the royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of the land of destruction, and brought thine unfair commandment as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death. And it touched the heaven, but it stood upon the earth. Then suddenly visions of horrible dreams troubled them sore, and terrors came upon them unlooked for. And one thrown here, another half dead, showed the cause of his death. For the dreams that troubled them did foreshow this, lest they should perish and not know why they were afflicted. Yea, the taste of death touched the righteous also, and there was a destruction of the multitude in the wilderness, but the wrath endured not long. For then the blameless man made haste and stood forth to defend them. And bringing the shield of his proper ministry, even prayer and the propitiation of incense, set himself against the wrath, and so brought the calamity to an end, declaring that he was thy servant. So he overcame the destroyer, not with strength of body nor force of arms, but with a word subdued him that punished, alleging the oaths and covenants made with the fathers. For when the dead were now fallen down by heaps one upon another, standing between, he stayed the wrath, and parted the way to the living. But in the long garment was the whole world, and in the 4 rows of the stones was the glory of the fathers graven, and thy majesty upon the diadem of his head. Unto these the destroyer gave place, and was afraid of them, for it was enough that they only tasted of the wrath. That's a mouthful. It's a mouthful. That's what we're going to stop at. It is very imperative. If you never had an opportunity to read these scripts, go back. Play it again. Play it again. Play it again. We get an opportunity to really drink in what the Most High is teaching. It's an opportunity for you to enjoy and continue to walk in his presence as he's blessing you each and every day with the breath of life. So with that, I say shalom, peace, and blessings.